What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, and the movie I want to take a look at right now is Skin. Now, this one comes from A24. It is written and directed by Guy Nativ. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this one stars Jamie Bell as Byron Widener, and he is a white supremacist, skinhead, disgusting person that lives in his town. His family runs this specific chapter of I think it's the KKK or whatever group they call them. I think it's the Vikings. And so they kind of live out in the woods, very secluded from the town, obviously. And so, he's disgusting. He beats up people that are different skin color than him. Kind of argues with a lot of people in this movie, even with his own family members. He's just an angry person. And then one day, he meets a woman played by Danielle McDonald. She was the woman that was actually the lead in Patty Cakes a couple of years ago. I didn't see that, but I heard great things. But he falls in love with her, and he kind of wants to change his life around. He wants to give up being filled with hate, being a bigot, and he wants to transform. He wants to get rid of his tattoos. He wants to become a new person. He also calls upon a black activist that has been going after him for quite some time to kind of expose his bigotry and racism and all that stuff. And, he kind of helps him out too. And, he eventually gets rid of all of his tats and he starts to become a new person. And you're probably thinking, like, why'd you spoil this? It's actually based on a real life story. And it's kind of insane to me that this guy was this way. And now, I think according to the end of the film, if I can recall, he's got his degree in philosophy now. That's amazing. So even with people that are in the KKK or if they're a neo-Nazi, it's not too late. It's going to be hard to change their mind, but it's nice to know that there's people out there that have changed their mind and have changed their mind for the better and more positive and putting more good energy out there instead of, just the terrible, terrible stuff that they do. So, going into this, I didn't really expect much. I heard a little bit about it through the short film that literally just won the Oscar like 4 months ago, which is crazy to me. Which means he shot this one last year. Who knows when he shot the short, but anyways, so a guy won the Oscar for this film for live action short, and then 4 months later, I heard about this full-length feature that was kind of loosely based on this film, kind of the same premise, obviously same title and everything. So, I didn't really know what to expect, but I saw the trailer, and Jamie Bell blew me away in the trailer, so I was like, okay, this is going to be some good stuff. I'm not expecting like a top 10 contender of the year. I'm not expecting like a great, phenomenal experience, a cinematic experience, but I just want like a good movie that's a really hard subject matter to do and make us feel empathetic towards, a skinhead, but it can be done. And I wanted to take that challenge, and Jamie Bell is such a great actor, so saw the trailer, thought it was solid, and now I saw the movie. It was fine. It's one of those ones that I don't really care to watch again. Because one, the subject matter, and then two, it's just fine. I typically only want to rewatch stuff that, is really good to like great or, life changing. I got very limited time nowadays, so, I just have to kind of pick and choose. But, I thought it was a fine little watch. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the one thing I can appreciate about Guy's directing is that he was able to do the impossible and was able to navigate this story from start to finish. And by the end, I felt empathetic towards Byron Widener. It's kind of incredible because when you watch the beginning of the film, this guy is disgusting, despicable, vile, just everything that you can think of. And you're like, I want to hate this person so much. But by the end, you believe him and you believe that he wants to change, and you can't fully forgive him because he's done some terrible things, but the door has been left open so you can be on the road to forgiveness with him and be on that road to change. And I believed it. And so, taking this subject matter, which is really hard to do, and making them a main character feel empathetic in certain scenes when they are this way, it's really hard to do. So I give Guy full credit for that. On the flip side, I do think for a 2 hour long movie, which actually feels a lot faster than it did, it's a bad thing because everything in the story felt really quick and it didn't really have any weight to it. It didn't have any time to breathe or develop and make us kind of feel the presence of the scene. It was just more of like, okay, we have to see him a part of the Viking group. Okay, he meets the girl. Okay, so he's with the girl now. Okay, so they've been together for like 3 months. We time jumped, and then blah blah blah. And it's just you're hitting these points, these plot threads very very quickly to get to the end. And I get that you want to show Byron's arc, you want to show his journey, and you want to try to hit all the major points you can within a 2 hour runtime, which 2 hours is plenty of time to do it. But you're rushing through a lot of stuff. And, at certain points I was like, I really don't feel that chemistry. I don't really feel that relationship there, that he's been with this girl for that long, or he has, been seeing this activist a lot, or even a relationship with his parents. I just didn't really feel that connection towards anybody. And I felt like, hey, I'm watching a movie. I'm watching these relationships kind of unfold, but everything's kind of moving really, really quickly to where I really didn't feel that emotional tie that you want with this type of stuff. So that is the one kind of downfall to this movie. But the one saving grace to everything are the performances. The performances are either okay to solid to great, and it's pretty fantastic to witness. Danielle McDonald is probably the weak link in the movie, but she's still fine. Like she's got a couple scenes that she flourishes and she's got range, and I really appreciated that because I never saw Patty Cake, so I don't know how she is. But she impressed me in this movie. It just wasn't enough for me to be like, wow, she was such a standout, because I didn't really feel like I believed their chemistry to begin with, so it was really hard for me to kind of connect to her performance. Vera Farmiga is solid in this as Jamie Bell's mother. Very, very creepy, very just kind of like there's something really off with her. You're just like, you're a weird mom. But she's always great. I love Vera Farmiga. Bill Camp as Jamie Bell's father is terrifying. He is intimidating. He is such a good actor, and to have him in this role, in this performance, you're like, wow, he just like turned on the switch to like be the most horrid human being possible. He is absolutely disgusting in this movie, but he owns it. Like, that's his character, and like he does such a great job at it. So props to him on that. But the saving grace throughout this entire movie, and the only reason I'm going to give it like a plus when I give this movie a grade, is Jamie Bell. Jamie Bell is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. He has the range to carry over, from being this terrible person to this person that wants to redeem himself. You believe it because Jamie Bell sells it. And the cool thing is, there's certain scenes where like he still has his tattoos on. He's still hanging out with the wrong people. And then literally 30 seconds later, he'll be with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's kids. And like, he's really sweet and charming. And he's caring. And you know that he's going to protect these kids. And then the next scene, he's going to like almost kill people. And it's just like, that's what Jamie Bell does. He can flip on a dime like that and be in the same room, same scene, same shot, and be very loving and forgiving, and then be like super disgusting shortly after, and you believe it. And you're like, wow, this is a guy that really kind of went there. he really submerged himself into this character and really kind of touched upon its dark parts, because trying to act out one of these skinheads or Nazis or whatever, I'm sure it's not easy on an actor. And props to everyone involved, even the people that were in the Viking family or whatever that he came from. It's not easy to do, and I'm sure it takes a toll on you emotionally and mentally to kind of like go to those dark places. And I got to give Jamie Bell full props for that. So other than that, I mean, it's shot fine. It's like I said, it's got a nice pace to it. It's just there's not enough to kind of connect to. So it's just, for me, it was just kind of like an okay experience. It's not like something as powerful as like an American History X or like a Black Klansman, where I walked out life changing and stuff with its filmmaking. It's just like, hey, this was a serviceable movie with okay to good to phenomenal acting that carried this movie from being worse than it was. So I really got to give props to the acting in this. It's really great. So I'm gonna give Skin a C+. If you were interested in this story, I still say check it out. I had no idea it was a real story, and they kind of touched upon the real life person at the end during the credits, and it was just kind of phenomenal to see someone that was poisoned with all of this BS and this hatred and this bigotry to change his life around and become like a person that speaks about philosophy. Blows my mind. And it's not too late for anybody, because even in the movie they are shown recruiting like a kid off the streets, because that's what they do. They find people that don't have homes, don't have people to go to, and they're like, oh, we can offer you a home, but we want to kind of show you our racist attitude, and we're going to poison your mind and make you become a skinhead. And so they showed that in the movie, and there was a kid in the movie that it's like his mind was poisoned, but you can tell that he wanted to change later on in life. But it's just, they grab a hold of you and you have no choice. And that's the weird thing with Byron's character, is that he was born into this. This was not something he chose, because his parents were like the leaders of this this group. And yeah, so let me go ahead and just wrap this up, because the dogs are going crazy in there. So C+ for me for Skin. So what did you guys think of Skin, or have you even heard of it? Comment that places right below my face and let me know. And as always, that will do it for this review, guys. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I will see you guys later.